Let me welcome you to this episode of Above the Clouds, which will be dedicated to the subject matter of personal transformation. We will read the following text: aśma-sāraṁ hṛdayaṁ batedaṁ gṛhyamāṇair hari-nāma-dheyaiḥ na vikriyetātha yadā vikāro netre jalaṁ gātra-ruheṣu harṣaḥ. Certainly that heart is steel-framed, which in spite of one's chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration, does not change. When ecstasy takes place, tears fill the eyes and the hairs stand on end. Why does our heart not change, even in the light or presence of spiritual experience? Because it's very, very hard. Prabhupada says, the whole process of spiritual culture is aimed at changing the heart of the living being in the matter of his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord, a subordinate servant, which is his eternal constitutional position. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, a very interesting analogy of transformation of the heart is given. It is said there, as bell metal, when mixed with gold, can be transformed into gold, a person, even though not golden pure, can be transformed into a Dvija Brahmana simply by the process of initiation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur details this traditional process. At initiation, you get a tilak, urdhva pundra, which reminds you your life is meant for spiritual things. Your life should follow the road which goes upward. Your body is a temple of the Lord. This brings with it tapa, the second thing which is necessary for transformation. Some austerities, some renunciation that helps you to make a distance to the material attachments which you follow in normal consciousness. No, tapa, you learn to say, this is not good for me. Then you get nama, a new name, a new identity, and also you get mantra that transforms the heart, and yajna, a process of worship. So yes, the spiritual ingredients that are given to you at the time of initiation take care that an almost alchemical transformation from ordinary to extraordinary, from bell metal into gold takes place. What exactly is to be transformed? Yes, our desires, which describe or determine our decisions, which again determine our feelings and our experiences and our life. The desires are at the root. If you desire purely, your life will be pure. If you desire because you are influenced by so many external stimuli, then your life will go in another direction. So I would like to say what is necessary to obtain a full full-fledged transformation. First of all, it's a new sense of self. Second of all, new thoughts and also feelings. Third of all, new values and desires, like sharanagati, you want to surrender, you want to accept Krishna as your maintainer, you want to be humble, you want to do what is favorable and avoid what is unfavorable for spiritual life. New values and desires. Then, fourth, a new behavior that manifests in new activities. And fifth, a transformed person has new dreams. Yes, and all this. A new sense of self, new thoughts and feelings, new values and desires, new behaviors and activities, new values and so on, new dreams. All this brings you into a new life. It's not so easy. It's not so cheap. There is a very nice story of such a transformation which I would like to explain to you or express to you, to encourage you. I remember once in Berlin I was translating a lecture of Hrishikesh Maharaj from English into German, and I was sitting in the back of the audience facing the speaker. So at the very back, just a meter away from me, was a punk. He was dressed in black cloth. He was lying on the floor. He had yellow hair and a mohawk. And as he was lying, all of a sudden, one rat came out from under his shirt, followed by a second rat. I was so shocked. This was a man, a punk from Berlin-Kreuzberg, who lived with rats, who believed in violent rebellion and various anarchistic values, who had pins in his lips and pins in his eyelids, a very wild-looking person. I forgot about him. Not completely, there was still some memory stored of him, but I didn't think of him any longer until I visited, maybe 1 year later, the German farm Simhats jalaṁ. And I made a walk into the cow barn to visit the cows. What I saw shocked me even more than what I had seen in Berlin during that lecture which I translated. The same person was there. He was now dressed in the dress of a cow caretaker or cowherd man, and he was covered all over with cow dung. A little later I saw him very clean in the temple in Dhoti. He was chanting rounds. He looked very different in his face. The pins were gone, and I asked him, "Man, what happened to you?" He said, "Transformation." I went home after the program and I started a spiritual life. I gave it a try. I I refrained from certain things, and I did other things, mantra, I chanted the holy names. I got a picture of Krishna and worshipped him regularly. And all of a sudden, I saw that there were completely new desires forming in my heart. This person is still a very, very active devotee. Yes, he may have memories of his old life, but he lives a new life and he creates a new future, and he also creates a totally different, let us say, next birth. So a transformation is possible, but you have to take the process very serious. I once asked a good friend of mine, when does the process of spiritual life really work, and when does it not work? So my friend took a bowl, an eating bowl, and he said, when does this fill with water? When it rains. If I put the bowl like this out in the rain, and he put the bowl topsy-turvy, when it was, the upper part was pointing down, or then he turned the bowl around, and the bowl's open side was pointing towards the rain. When does the bowl fill with rainwater? And I said, of course, you need to turn it the right way. You need to turn it in a way where it can receive the rainwater and not, let the rainwater come off on its sides. So this thing which helps us to open our heart so that we can receive the transformative power of the devotional processes is service. A person who takes to service leaves the narrow border of his own ego, and he opens himself up to a much, much greater reality. I have seen this, for instance, in Vrindavan Dham. When you serve Krishna, serve the Vaishnavas, serve the residents of the Dham, you are living actually in the spiritual kingdom of God. But when you close your heart to the mercy, to the spiritual influence, and do not serve, you see Vrindavan as a little place in Uttar Pradesh which suffers from overpopulation and bad canalization system. Service opens your heart, and then the process of transformation can affect a change of heart. Thank you very much for listening. See you back in the next Above the Clouds.